When it comes to net worth, what we're talking about is all of your assets. So your house, boats, coin collection, all of your stuff combined minus your liabilities. So assets minus liabilities equals net worth. If we talk about a net worth of $1 million, we could be talking about $0 invested and a $900,000 house and $100,000 worth of toys. That's a lot different than a $200,000 house and an $800,000 investment portfolio. So there's a big difference when it comes to millionaires as to what they actually own that make up that $1 million. Some people have chosen to use real estate as their investment of choice. So it's your asset minus your liability gives you your net worth, and the hope is that a large percentage of that net worth is actually going to be income producing net worth. That's the way to get you to financial independence quicker, because ultimately financial independence is replacing your income with passive income sources. So whether you're investing in real estate or in the stock market, or whatever it is you're investing in, the goal toward financial independence needs to be less about reaching a certain dollar amount when it comes to your net worth, and more about what kind of income replacement do I have set up. We can have, I have a lot of clients that are teachers. Let's say we have a husband and wife who have been teachers their entire life. They turn on Social Security and their South Dakota retirement pension plan, and they're probably making more during retirement than they were while they were teaching. And so they might have $0 saved in other investable accounts. But if they're used to living off $5,000 a month in between their pensions and Social Security, now they're making $8,000 a month during retirement. Does it matter if they're a millionaire or not? My answer would be no. They've got some guaranteed income dollars that will cover them for the rest of their lives. Is the person who has $1 million portfolio financially independent? Not if they have $10,000 a month in debt payments. They're probably not financially independent, and they're in probably a more precarious financial situation than the teachers that I talked about earlier. And so a lot of financial independence really comes down to expenses and debt management. It comes down to what kind of lifestyle do you want to live and need to live. If you get yourself used to living on little and saving a lot, you're going to be financially independent at a much lower net worth or dollar value than $1 million. I've got clients that have $150,000 in investable assets who are completely fine and financially independent and will have no concerns about money for the rest of their lives. There are people that have millions of dollars that don't have that same freedom and independence either. So why do we want to get to the point where we are able to be independent financially? What's the purpose of all of our investing? Ultimately, if you have a bigger purpose in reaching financial independence, I believe you're going to be able to live on a lot less. You're going to choose to live on a lot less. You're going to be financially independent a lot sooner. And in the end, you're going to be more happy and content and joy-filled because there's a bigger purpose for your reaching financial independence. And that's something that too many people skip over and don't focus on. When you focus on a number, you lose track of the bigger picture. Well, generally speaking, living in South Dakota, living in Sioux Falls is a great place to live for retirement because our cost of living is lower. What doesn't matter in that mix is you could live in New York City or in Sioux Falls, and if you overspend, you overspend. And so it comes down to expenses. You can live in the lowest cost of living place in the country, and if you still spend more than you make, it doesn't matter. You don't get any further ahead. It comes back to the same concept of how you begin your financial career. If you just continue to raise your standard of living every time you get a financial raise, you're never ahead. Making $80,000 versus $60,000 doesn't make a difference if you just adjust your level of living to $80,000. It only makes a difference if you cap your living and say, I'm going to use this $20,000 to start to build assets and to start to gain financial independence. And so in the end, the cost of living in an area is important because you don't want to live in the highest cost of living area because it puts more stress on your portfolio to perform. On the other hand, your expenditures put a lot more stress on your portfolio than the area of the country that you live in and the cost of living in that area. Yeah, You know, it's a unique question that's an individual to individual issue, but I can tell you the clients that we are the most comfortable with, telling them, hey, you're in a place where you don't need to work anymore, are the people who have the most guaranteed income for the rest of their lives. Social Security income, pension income, those types of incomes really play well in the retirement space and can I retire early? So people who have maximized those type of plans are in a really good spot. So for example, a teacher in South Dakota that's part of the South Dakota retirement system is in a really good spot because of the guaranteed income that they'll get from the SDRS when they decide to retire. So that takes a lot of the stress off of your portfolio assets to perform. That being said, we also like to encourage people to have a large amount of cash on hand. So if we're getting close to retirement, some advisors would say 1 year worth of expenses in cash on hand. Some people would say up to 5 years of expenses in cash on hand, so that you can let the rest of your portfolio sit and you don't worry about what's happening in the market. That produces some financial freedom for you to say, hey, I can pull money out of cash to provide for my expenses for the next 1 to 5 years and not even have to worry about investment returns. When we get into that type of a situation, we're in a really good spot to be financially independent and to give clients the go-ahead to say, you know what, this could be retirement time. And it has less to do with their age and more to do with how much guaranteed income they have and how much we can back off on their portfolio and allow a portion of it to grow and be safe with a larger chunk of the portfolio. Absolutely yes, or no. It really depends. That's why you need to come in and talk to us, because we need to hash through all of your expenses. We need to hash through all of your assets and give you a better idea of where you are personally. Because some people don't need more than $100,000 in assets to retire. Some people need $5 million before they can retire. And it really depends on your ability to live on less. So if you can't live on less, then you're going to require more assets before you can retire. So the answer is hard because it really depends.